Netanyahu shrugs off protest, says millions of voters demanded judicial overhaul. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Sunday shrugged off an 80,000-strong rally the night before against the government's contentious plans to remake the judiciary, telling cabinet ministers that the national elections were a bigger display of the public's will. Changes in the pipeline include weakening the Supreme Court so that it will not be able to veto legislation and policies deemed unconstitutional, and granting the government control over the panel that selects judges. Critics say that along with other planned legislation, the overhaul will impact Israel's democratic character by upsetting its system of checks and balances, granting too much power to the executive branch, and leaving minorities undefended. 2 months ago there was a huge demonstration, the mother of all demonstrations. Millions of people went into the streets in order to vote in the elections. One of the main topics that they voted on was reforming the judicial system, Netanyahu said of the November 1st vote, according to a statement from his office. Everyone who was at our election rallies, in city centers, and in neighborhoods, heard the voices rising from the crowds, he said at the weekly cabinet meeting in Jerusalem, though he did not give a specific example. Millions of people went into the streets in order to vote in the elections. One of the main topics that they voted on was reforming the judicial system, Netanyahu told ministers. Netanyahu urged against being swept away by inflammatory slogans about civil war and the destruction of the state. He added, "I must say that when we were in the opposition, we did not call for civil war and did not speak about the destruction of the state, even when the government made decisions that we vociferously opposed. I expect the leaders of the opposition to do the same." He predicted the changes would restore the public's trust in the justice system. Rhetoric over the overhauls and pushback against them heated up last week when opposition lawmaker Benny Gantz accused Netanyahu of leading towards civil war, and opposition leader Yair Lapid urged his Yesh Atid party supporters to take to the streets as part of a war over our home. That prompted a lawmaker of the coalition's far-right Otzma Yehudit party to call for Gantz and Lapid to be arrested for treason. On Sunday, Likud MK Tali Gottlieb said she had asked Justice Minister Yariv Levin, who is pioneering the judicial shakeup, to remove Supreme Court President Esther Hayat from her post, citing a conflict of interest. Gottlieb pointed at a speech Hayat gave last week in which she railed against the planned moves, accusing the justice of scaremongering the public with falsehoods while expressing a political opinion on a disputed subject.